There is a major stray animal problem in the American South, and as the fourth biggest city in the US, Houston is no exception. Shelters are perpetually full, and sadly, it's not uncommon to see stray dogs and cats wandering around on the streets. And that is exactly how Boomer and Demi came to live with us. Boomer was the first one to come into our home. He was around 8 months old at the time, and a friend of ours had found a dog wandering around. They ended up catching it, and its collar was on so tight that they couldn't take it off with their hands. They had to actually cut it off of him, which insinuates that he had been wandering around on his own for quite a while. With Demi, we found her about 2 years later. She was somewhere between 8 weeks and 11 weeks, so she was just a little puppy. She had no collar, no tags, and she had been wandering around next to a highway. So my sister pulled off to the side of the highway, brought her into the car, and then that was that. So we kept them at our house. We were just gonna keep them there temporarily until we could find their owner or find a new home for them, and we just ended up falling in love with them. And then, I mean, a few weeks turned into a few months, turned into a few years, and they've been with us ever since. Did Demi and Boomer get on when they first met? Yes, actually. So Boomer has this really lovely thing about him where if he meets a smaller dog or a younger dog, he will just instinctually be very kind and try to help them out. And Demi was just a little baby, and you could tell that Boomer was being so patient and so kind with her. That's one of his greatest qualities, I think. But then with Boomer, it was a little bit different because he was a bit older. He had been wandering around the streets, I think, for longer than what Demi had been, and he did have a lot of fear when it came to new people. So it did take a little while for him to settle down, get into a routine, and feel really comfortable with us. He still struggles with a lot of these things, but he's a lot faster at it and a lot more trusting. How are Boomer and Demi doing now? They are doing so well. They're honestly, they both have their issues, as every dog does, especially a dog who's been wandering around on the street, but they are getting so good at working through it, and they're so comfortable, and I honestly think that they're better together than they are apart. One of the things that just melts my heart every single time I see it is that Demi loves to lick everyone and everything. She loves to show her love, and I love catching them cuddling on the couch with Demi just licking Boomer's face. I think it is the sweetest thing. A funny thing that Demi always does that makes me laugh is she will eat anything. She eats the little crispy worms that have fried up in the sun that are on the sidewalk. She will honestly eat anything, and it makes me laugh. What advice would I give to someone looking to adopt? I would say to take your time. It is so easy to go to a shelter and to fall in love with the dogs and to want to bring it home that very first day, but that's not a good idea for anyone. It is absolutely fine for you to sleep on it, for you to visit the dog multiple different times and ask as many questions as you can to make sure that that dog is a good fit for you and your family, but that also your house is a good fit for that dog. It's a two-way street. So I would say take your time, learn as much as you can before you adopt your dog, and then everything will be good.